Now, Halsey and Rowan, we don't have many questions that are left now. Okay, so next one is one of my favorite questions. Okay, now this will require something from my side. Any doubt in the previous question, please? Any doubt in the previous question? Okay. Now listen. In the next question, no, listen very carefully. I'm telling you all one story so that you all understand one line. Okay. You were very tiny. Okay. In 10th standard. You thought I will get 90% marks. Okay. You thought. What is there in thinking? You can always think here. Okay. This was whatever you thought. Okay. That you will be getting. Okay. But then in actual, you got 80%. Okay. Then you grew up. 12th standard. You thought in 10th, I should have got 80. At least now I get 80. Yeah. So 80 was actual of our last attempt. But for future, actuals can be taken as standards, no? It is not wrong, no? You can always be thinking in 12th standard, sir, in 10th only I got 80, at least now I should get 80. Okay, you got 70%. Then CA foundation came, you again thought, in 12th only I got 70, at least now I should get at least 70%. Okay, you got 60%. Okay, then CA inter came, you are in CA inter now. You thought in CA foundation I got 60, at least now I should get 60. Okay, you got 50%. I will not continue for CA final, you will understand. But what I am trying to tell you is not what will happen for CA final, it will happen good only. Okay, but what I am trying to tell you all is that many times actual performance of last time becomes a standards for the future, no?
Yes, sir.
Example, last year some businessman earned say 5 crore rupees of profit. He can be thinking, no, in the next year, yeah, last year only I earned this much. So at least this year I should be getting 5 crore rupees of profit, no? Okay, this could be one of the ways to be fixing the standard time. Okay. Now, nothing has rules as such. Okay, you know, we are trying to study the subjects which are frankly most realistic. Like, you know, I always say this particular thing. You know, your subjects like tax, your subjects like law, even your subjects like accounts or something, these have rules inbuilt. Like, you know, although those rules are based upon the logics, I do understand that. Okay. But, you know, those subjects are very rigid subjects in life. You have to be doing this, else it is wrong. But our subject now, and especially in CFN, these are not rigid subjects. Okay. We are talking of business. Okay. We are talking of concepts that everybody can make themselves here. Okay, so therefore one of the ways of making the standard time is to try to see the actual performance of last time, and that's what we are going to be seeing in this particular question also. Okay, so let's do in this case our question number 9. Okay, Mr. A is working by employing 10 skilled workers. He is considering introduction of some incentive scheme, either Halsey scheme with 50% bonus or Rowan scheme of wage payments for increasing the labor productivity to cope up with the increased demand of the product by 25%. Now do one thing, read this much paragraph just once more in your mind. Now what those guys are saying, that some Mr. A has 10 employees. He's thinking like, you know, to introduce either Halsey scheme with 50% bonus. So use that formula. Okay. Or in this particular case, the Rowan scheme. To cope up with the for increasing the labor productivity to cope up with the increased demand of the product by 25%. So this guy now, Mr. A, suddenly he notices one day that in future demand is going to be rising by 25%. If the demand is going to be rising, obviously we will have to be increasing the production also by 25%. That's very obvious. If we have to increase the production by 25%, we have to be giving some incentive to our workers. He's thinking either Halsey or Rowan. Next thing, he feels that if the proposed incentive scheme could bring about average 20% increase over the present earnings of the workers, it could act as a sufficient incentive for them to produce more, and accordingly he has given his assurance to the workers. Read this paragraph once more in your mind. Now, what this guy feels, that currently workers are earning something. Okay. If I tell them, I will increase your total, I will ensure that your wages increase by 20%. Okay. He feels that if the workers get 20% extra, no, then in that case, those guys will be ready to be doing extra production by 25%. You understood what did I say?
Yes, sir.
So, demand has suddenly increased by 25%. So, obviously, production has to be increasing. Workers have to be told to be producing more. He thinks that if workers' wages will be increasing by 20%, no, he thinks that it is good incentive for them to be producing more. Okay. And see this line, he has accordingly given his assurance to the workers. What does this thing mean? He has given his jaban, and that is, you give me 25% extra in terms of production, and I will ensure that, speak further, I will give you 20% extra in terms of wages. Okay. And for giving that 20% extra, he has two options, either introduce Halsey scheme or introduce Rowan scheme. Okay. This is the first paragraph that's there. Second paragraph. As a result of this assurance, the increase in productivity has been observed as revealed by the following figures for the actual month, for the current month. Now, what happened was, because he gave this assurance, no, okay, workers started to produce faster, okay, and it has been observed as such, okay. Hourly rate of wages guaranteed rupees 2, okay. Average time for producing one piece by one worker at the previous performance, 2 hours. I'll read this particular thing once more. Hourly rate of wages guaranteed rupees 2. Guaranteed wage rate means basic wage rate, means normal wage rate. Okay. So that is rupees 2 per hour. They will be getting 2 per hour. Average time for producing one piece by one worker at the previous performance, 2 hours. And this may be taken as time allowed. Now this is whatever I was trying to tell you. Before this scheme, one worker for one unit was taking how many hours, beta? 2 hours. For the purpose of this scheme, this 2 hours will be taken as time allowed. You understood? This was actual data of the last time, but that has become standard of the current period. You understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this 2 hours no is actually two things. It is time taken in past that has become time allowed now. Fine?
Yes,
okay, further. Number of working days in a month, that's 25 number of hours per day for each worker, that is 8. Actual production during the month, that is 1250. Okay, required. Calculate effective rate of earnings per hour under Halsey scheme and Rowan scheme. Effective rate of earnings per hour we did right on the first day. What do you mean by effective rate of earnings? It is? It is basic wages plus bonus divided by time taken, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, including bonus, what was your rate per hour? Okay, calculate savings to Mr. A in terms of direct labor cost per piece under the above schemes. Advise Mr. A about selection of the scheme to fulfill his assurance. Okay, now see. Can you say for effective rate per hour? In any case, you will have to be computing the bonus. For bonus, in any case, you're going to be applying your formulas. That is, Halsey, Rowan up and so on. Okay. So, again, just wait. Now, listen. Few things I am telling you all first. You all try to get me in this case answer of one part. Okay. Chalo, answer of one part. Okay. You get me one part, I'll do the other parts for you. But one part I will want from you. Okay. Listen. In this case, no, you are, come on here. Just a second. Okay. Chalo, fine. Not a problem. Listen. You are going to be calculating part first answer, okay, this particular part, calculate effective rate of earnings per hour under Halsey Rowan, okay. But tell me few things first. Tell me what is the basic wage rate in this particular question? 2 rupees per hour. So therefore this particular thing is rupees 2 per hour. Okay. Obviously compute time allowed for actual output. Just asking for time pass. Okay, tell me what was the actual output, beta? 1250. Okay, so therefore compute how much time should have been taken for 1250 units. Okay. After that, try to compute time taken. My one hint to you, whenever you are calculating, please compute for the entire company, and company has 10 workers. This data will be of use to you. Okay. Now, once you will do this particular thing, you will arrive at time saved. Once you compute your time saved, beta, it is all over. Okay. So after that, you just got to be applying all your formulas. But obviously in this particular question, you are not going to be taking that 60%. In fact, instructions are given that we have to be taking what over here, yeah, 50%. That's okay for everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so therefore 50% over here. One thing, once you will compute your total wages, no, then you do whatever has been asked in part 1. Part 1 is effective hourly rate. Under, I'll say under row 1. It will be total wages divided by time taken. That is what we all did on the first day. It will be total wages divided by time taken. Okay. I want everybody to finish off part 1 properly, and it is exactly the same presentation that you all have done before. Exactly the same presentation, except in this case there is effective hourly rate also. Rest everything is same only. Okay. I'm giving you all in all 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, if you finish, okay, then try to get me the answer of part 2 also. I don't want to be explaining it, taki you all try to be doing it yourself. Okay, but 7 minutes you all have, try to get me the answer. Did you get time saved as 500 hours? Just asking.
Yes.
Okay, then you are on the correct path. Please continue. Those people who have not got 500 hours, get 500 hours and then continue, please.
Sir.
Bolo, tell me. So you compute everything for 10 workers. No, what is the problem in that? In fact, you should be doing that. You compute everything for 10 workers combined. You take everything for 10 workers, right? Correct, no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So take everything for 10 workers combined. That's what I told right in the beginning only. Take everything for the company. So, those people who haven't reached till now. So, time allowed for actual output 1250 units you all have made. For every unit, we should have taken 2 hours. So, therefore, workers in all should have taken 2500 hours. But then in reality, can we say there were 10 workers working for 25 days in a month for 8 hours every day? Is that fine?
Yes.
So, therefore, 2000. So, therefore, 500 hours in this case are hours saved. Basic wages. Basic wages 2000 into rupees 2. So, therefore, this will be rupees 4000. 50% of time saved into rate per hour. So, therefore, this will be 500. Time saved 500 upon 2500 into 4000. That is 800. So, total wages will be 4000 plus 500 plus 800. Effective hourly rate 4500, 4800 divided by how much, beta? 2000 hours, no?
Yes, sir.
Workers are getting paid 4500 by working for, in this particular case, 2000 hours. Okay, so therefore this will be 2.25, this will be 2.40. Everybody has done. I am asking to confirm. So everybody has done this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubts in this part? This is easy part. Any doubts? No. Okay, so let's continue. Calculate savings to Mr. A in terms of direct labor cost per piece under the above schemes. Now don't write. Okay, just listen. We want savings per piece. We want savings to Mr. A per piece. Okay. Tell me one thing. If suppose these workers were normal workers, okay, means they were neither efficient nor inefficient. Tell me, for 1250 units, how many hours they should have taken, beta? 2500 means you are multiplying by 2 hours. Okay. Can we say for every hour we should have paid them rupees 2 per hour? Is that okay? So we should have paid them rupees 5000. Okay. But under Halsey scheme, including bonus, you are paying them only 4500. Is that okay?
Yes.
Can we say you are paying 4500 for 1250 units only, no?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So therefore, I am trying to be computing savings under Halsey. That will be 5000 minus 4500 rupees 500. Savings under row 1. So therefore 5000 minus 4800, this will be 200. Actually this is the answer that we think we want, but then this is not the answer that we want. Calculate the savings, that's what we all have done, but we want savings per piece. Tell me, these are the savings for how many units, beta? 1250. So therefore savings per unit under Halsey under row 1. So therefore 500 200 divided by 1250. That's it. The moment you all do this particular thing, this will be 0.4, this will be 0.16. Okay, please finish this off.
Done, sir.
Done. This is part 2. Now, this question, now, most of the people get part 1 correct, to be very honest, even part 2 correct. It's all about part 3. Advise Mr. A about the selection of the scheme to fulfill his assurance. Now see, Mr. A had given some promise to the workers. What was that particular promise? In case you will give me 25% extra, then I will ensure that you get 20% extra in terms of wages. Correct, no?
Yes.
And for giving that 20% extra, he had 2 options, either Halsey or Owen. So my answer in part 3, my advice depends upon 2 things here. First, have workers given 25% extra. That is first thing that you will have to be trying to be computing. Okay. Have workers given 25% extra production? Okay. That is the first question that you answer. Okay. If the answer to this particular question is yes, then in that particular case, you try to implement that particular scheme that gives the workers 20% extra in terms of wages. You understand how your advice is going to be dependent upon these 2 things? Okay. So now this is the part, if suppose I was the examiner, mostly this question I'll be asking for 12 marks. Out of that, honestly, I'll be having say 2 marks for this, 2 marks for this. And I would like to be having 8 marks for this last particular part. Okay, if I was an examiner. Okay. Although this question has been asked ample number of times in exams also. I give you 4 minutes because I think that you need to be calculating many things. You try to be getting the answer in these 2 steps only. Compute, have workers given extra, then try to be thinking which scheme to implement. Okay, 4 minutes start now. Tell me one thing. Have workers given 25% extra?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I think those guys have exactly given that 25% extra, no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so let's start to be doing that first of all. Okay, so let's try to be seeing. Their actual production was 1250. I want to be finding out in a usual month how much they should be producing. Let's compute that particular thing first. Okay, so write down over here percentage extra production, actual production in 1 month 1250 less standard production in 1 month. Can we say whether it was this month or any month? Can we say number of working hours in a month usually remains same only, no?
Yes, sir.
So 2000 hours are supposed to be there in a month. Can we say at the previous performance they were taking 2 hours for every unit? Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
So if it was supposed to be a normal month, okay, these guys were supposed to be producing how many units here? 1000. So therefore in this month these guys have done extra production of 250. So percentage of extra production. Can we say in a usual month they should be producing 1000, they produce 250. So therefore they have done their work, no, 25%. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So if those guys have given 25% extra, then in this particular case I think so that we should try to introduce that particular scheme whereby workers get 20% extra. Okay, now it's very simple after this, but don't lose your focus. Tell me one thing. Workers, suppose in the previous month, must have got how much amount of wages?
4,000.
4,000. There was no incentive scheme, right? If they have fulfilled their commitment, we need to be fulfilling ours. We need to be giving them 20% extra. 4,000 into 20% will make it how much here? 800. You all understood this? So for 800 rupees extra, you tell me which scheme you will have to introduce, beta? Row 1 scheme. So therefore hence we introduce the row 1 scheme. Okay, so you will have to explain this part over here. As workers have given 25% extra, we will give 20% extra in terms of wages. Their normal wages in a month must be rupees 4,000. 20% of 4,000 is equal to 800. This is possible only under row 1 scheme. Hence, implement row 1. Hence, implement row 1. Now, imagine something. Okay, this question is all done from my side. Okay, but imagine something that I'm saying right now. Think. I'll not make you all write down that situation, but just think. In this question, we had a deal with the workers. What was that particular deal? What were the conditions? You give 25% extra in terms of production. We will give you 20% extra in terms of wages. As workers kept their commitment, we kept our commitment. So it was just and fair. Okay. But think, if suppose in this particular question, there was a deal that workers had to be giving 40% extra production. My deal with them was, you give me 40% extra in terms of production. I give you 20% extra in terms of wages. Okay, this was a deal between me and them. But then in reality, no, they only gave 25% extra production. Okay. Then you tell me, what will your answer to part 3 be? Then in that case, how will you answer part 3? I give you 3 choices. Ek minute. You understood the twist in the question? If it was a question like this, you understood how I'm changing it?
Yes, sir.
That means workers have not fulfilled their commitment. Those guys I told will give 40% extra. Then I had told I'll give you 20% extra. But workers only gave how much percent extra? 25%. Then I'm asking you, if you are in place of Mr. A, the owner of this particular company, and you have 3 choices only. First, sir, no bonus, sir. Absolutely no bonus, sir. Okay, they don't deserve. Sir, bonus as per Rowan, sir. Okay. Third, bonus as per health say. Then in that case, I'm asking you, you are going to be running a business one day. That's what I hope. Okay. Everybody in this world, that is whatever my personal thought is, should always run your own business. You have the freedom and you're not answerable to anybody. There's the advantage of business. Obviously, the risk is also there. But then if you're going to be running a business like Mr. A and you're stuck up in this kind of a situation, what would you do? No bonus? Bonus as per Halsey or bonus as per Rowan? I'm asking you one out of these 3 things. Tell me what. Halsey. No bonus. Now, first of all, no, you should remember that you are Mr. A, you are the owner of the company. Whatever you want, you do, no. Okay, that is your call. Example, I can justify all of them here. Okay, that is no bonus. How? It was the last day of the month. I called the workers. I told, come for the meeting. They all came for the meeting. I asked them, how much did you promise you will give extra? Workers shouted 40%, 40%. Then Mr. A told, but how much did you give extra? Everybody shouted 25%, 25%. I told, meeting is over, go. Okay, obviously. But then if you do like this, no, I still think that you will lose trust of the workers. And next time workers will always be feeling very insecure. That is, if we miss out on the target, even by small percentage, no, this guy will bloody not give us any bonus only. So therefore, in future, they will not be ready to accept schemes like this. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
So this will create a hatred feeling between you and the workers. Ultimately, do remember that workers, due to workers, you run your business here. I'm not saying workers is the only thing due to which you run your business. No. But workers are one of your assets here. It's a human resource. You got to be preserving. You cannot be that strict with the workers. Get out, up and so on. Okay. You cannot be like that. Okay. Ultimately, you'll have to balance it out. You have to be strict also. You have to be lenient also. But then you have to try to ensure that workers are there with the company for a long time. First. Second. So, I don't think so. No bonus should be implemented. Not good in the long run. Not good in the long run. Sir, then Rowan scheme. Rowan scheme in this particular case, example, if I was Mr. A and I have to implement this, I'll call the workers for a meeting. I'll ask them, how much did you give extra? How much did you told you will give extra? Everybody shouts 40%. I told, if you would have given 40%, I would have given you 20% extra. Everybody told, yes sir, yes sir. Then I asked them, how much did you give extra? They told 25%. Then I asked them, do you all deserve any bonus? Everybody will say no. Then I say, but still, how mahan I am, what a great person I am. Okay, even if you are even if you all are not fulfilling your commitment, no, I will still fulfill my commitment. 20% bonus to everybody. Okay. Everybody will clap. Okay. Once the meeting is over, they will start to talk within each other. What kind of an idiot he is. Even if we do not fulfill our commitment, he still fulfills his commitment. So next time we will never ever fulfill our commitment. You will understand? You understood?
Yes, sir.
So I think this will become too much on strict side. This will become too much on lenient side. So Halsey could be say a midway. He can simply tell them, you had told me 40%. Then I told say 20%. But then you all have not fulfilled their commitment. Legally, I am not supposed to be fulfilling my commitment. But still you are our workers. You all have produced something extra. So it is my duty to be giving you something extra. But I cannot give you exactly that 20% extra because you have also not fulfilled your commitment. But still, as our loyal workers, we would like to give you something extra. So therefore, you can give the bonus as per Halsey's scheme. You understood this?
Yes, sir.
So this will kind of keep the words like, of the workers also. This will keep the words of Mr. A also. And this will be kind of a midway out. So in case ever that particular thing happens, then in that case, you'll have to try to be saying that. Okay. Below what I have written over here. Do remember there is a contract between the workers and the management that if workers give 25% extra production, then the company will give 20% extra wages. Hence, for giving the conclusion, first check. Have the workers fulfill their commitment? If yes, then the company should fulfill its commitment rate and launch a scheme which will give 20% extra. And that's what we all have done for part 3rd of the question. Okay. Now, we are doing question number 10, then I'll give you all a small break. Okay, question number 10 will get over in one statement only. Okay, read please. Wage negotiations are going on with a recognized labor union. Okay. And management wants you as a cost accountant of the company to formulate an incentive scheme with a view to increase the productivity. Okay. First paragraph, there are no numbers as such, so not of much use. The case of 3 typical workers, Ina, Mina, Dika, who produce respectively 180, 120 and 100 units of company's product in a normal day of 8 hours is taken up for study. So there are 3 workers, Ina, Mina, Dika. That was a famous film also by Rishi Kapoor, Vinod Khanna and Juhi Chawla. Has anybody seen it ever?
Yes.
Okay. Phaltu movie. Okay. Further, you should not see such movies. Further, assume that the day wages would be guaranteed at 75 paise per hour and piece rate would be based on standard hourly output of 10 units. Calculate the earnings of the 3 workers and the labor cost per 100 pieces under day wages, piece wages, Halsey scheme and Rowan scheme. Now, everybody is doing one thing. You all read this properly. Properly, I mean very properly. Okay. And then I will be starting, you will not be starting as such. You read it properly, please. Read. Okay, see. Don't write. Okay, in end you will have to adjust the space and write. That will be a problem. Ina, Mina, Dika. I'm trying to compute everything for Ina first. Okay, the first person. Now, first of all, in this particular case, actual production. Tell me, Ina produced how much? 180. Okay. Then this is 120 and then this is 100. Okay. Then tell me how many hours they worked in a day. I guess you got to be computing for day only, 8 hours. So therefore this is number of hours worked. That is, I guess everybody has worked for 8 hours. Okay. Tell me, what's the rate per hour? 0.75 per hour. Okay, so therefore I guess there is guaranteed wage rate. Guaranteed wage rate means basic wage rate. Okay, so basic wage rate will be 0.75. Okay, further, now see, somewhere or the other that time will come, I'll have to answer part 2, piece wages. Can we say for piece wages you require two things: number of units produced into rate per unit. That's okay. So I'll require rate per unit, no, as such. Okay, so therefore rate per unit. Can we say rate per unit will be nothing but rate per hour divided by units per hour? I think this is the third time that we are doing this particular question. Okay, now you compute and tell me, both the things are mentioned to you in the question only. Rate per hour divided by units per hour. Answer will be how much? It's oral actually, you don't require a calci to show off. 0.075. Rate per hour is 0.75 and I guess that is same for all here, 0.75. Divided by units per hour. Can we say in 1 hour we should produce usually 10 units per hour, no?
Yes.
It is given to you in fact. The piece rate would be based on standard hourly output of 10 units. So therefore, I guess this data is common for everybody. 0.075, 0.075, 0.075. Okay, fifth. Now I'm only computing for ENA and no one else. Okay. So in this particular case, the first thing over here, day wages. I want to be computing the wages under day wages. So therefore, day wages. Can we say, you all read one line I think about day wages. This line is given to you. Just read this line. Assuming that day wages will be guaranteed at the rate of 75 paise per hour. Can you say under day wages you will be paid guaranteed 75 paise per hour? Can we say to get the total amount you will multiply by number of hours only, no? What else? Okay, so therefore I'm writing over here, this is row number 3 into row number 4. Okay, wherever I'm putting a circle, those are the row numbers. Okay, so therefore number of hours worked into rate per hour. Okay, so therefore this will be giving you 6 rupees. Okay, further 6. Next scheme over here will be piece wages. Can we say under piece wages, the wages will be nothing but number of units produced into rate per unit, no?
Yes.
That will be 1 into 2. You all can compute yourself after some time. Okay, 7th. Now 7th is Halcyon row 1. Can we say for Halcyon row 1 you require time allowed, time taken and time saved? Okay. Now this was the data. This was the first answer. This was the second answer. Now I'm moving towards the third and the fourth answer. For that, first of all, in this case, I require for Halcyon row 1, we require basic wage rate. Can I say this is the basic wage rate that's there with us? I don't need to be writing it again. That's okay. Then I require time allowed for actual output. Okay. Then in this case, I want time taken for actual output. Once this particular thing is done, I will start to be computing time saved. Can we say time saved will be 7 minus 8? Once you all do that, start to be computing basic wages. Basic wages will be nothing but time taken, that is 8, into basic wage rate, that is in row number 4. Once you will be doing that, after that bonus, you want bonus under Halcyon scheme. You want bonus under row 1 scheme. You all know the formulas as such. Then after that, 13th will be total wages. Total wages in this particular case will be under Halcyon and under row 1. Obviously, this will be 10 plus 11 and this particular thing will be 10 plus 12. Now, for that, you only have to try to tell me for ENA 2 things. Only for ENA. Compute it orally, please. Tell me for actual output. First of all, tell me what was the actual output of ENA? How much? 180. Tell me for 180, how many hours should have been taken? It's easy without calci. 18 hours. Because in 1 hour, we should have produced 10 units, no? Is that okay?
Yes.
So therefore, I'm writing over here, it will be row number 1 divided by 10 units per hour. Okay, so therefore in this particular case 180 divided by 10, so therefore 18 hours workers should have taken. Okay, further tell me how many hours did ENA take here in reality?
8 hours.
8 hours, no? Okay, they have worked for 8 hours in a day. So therefore time saved will be 10. After that, then basic wages will be 8 hours into 0.75. I guess that will again come to 6 only. Bonus under HAL save will be 50% of time saved into rate per hour. Will that be done?
Yes.
Okay. Then your row 1 scheme in this particular case will be time saved divided by time allowed into basic wages. And then you all can be computing your total. But just one thing. One thing more is left over here. That thing is very easy. Don't mess it up. Calculate the earnings of the 3 workers and the labor cost. Please read further. And the labor cost, what is written? Per 100 pieces. Can we say this, then this, then this, and then this will be giving you labor cost for 180 units, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, they just want proportionate labor cost in this particular case for 100 units. So therefore 14th I am writing over here, labor cost per 100 units. I am writing A under day wages, B in this case under piece wages, C in this particular case HAL say, D in this particular case row 1. And how you are going to be doing all of them? It will be this figure divided by 180 into 100. Is that fine? 6 rupees you are paying for 180, for 100 units it will be how much? Is that okay? Same way this figure divided by 180 into 100. Same way this particular figure divided by 180 into 100. Same way this particular figure divided by 180 into 100. Is that all okay? Okay, you all give the title please. Right now, statement to calculate total wages of the workers under the 4 schemes. And the labor cost for 100 units. And the labor cost for 100 units. Now, you all have 10 minutes to be completing this, 5 minutes break. Answer we will verify in this particular case after 15 minutes only. Okay. Earlier you complete, longer will be your break also. Complete in 10 minutes, take your break for 5 minutes please. Start. You don't require the question now for any reason. Every data that you require is over here. Do it quite neatly. There are 2 things which are below this also. That is your HAL and row 1. I think that you all will know. Yeah. I'll confirm the answers after the time ends. So 6 is a cost for producing 180 units into 100 units. $3.33 This is 5, this is 6. I guess this will be 7.5, no, everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll say, is this 9.33? I'm just asking. Is this figure 9? This particular number is how much?
9.75.
9.75. And this is?
33.
Okay.
9.33.
Okay. These should have been your answers. Okay. And this answer was how much, beta?
7.50 and 8.
And 8. And for the last one?
6.75 and 7.20.
And?
7.20.
Okay.
6.25 and 6.67.
Is everybody there with me? Okay. So this part is altogether done.